Live from the backstretch at historic Saratoga Race Course, this is Racing Across America with Seth Merrow. Racing Across America is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. When you can't make it to the track, make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.
Also brought to you by Wizard Race and Sports.
Good morning and welcome to Racing Across America on this Thursday morning. Another nice day here at Saratoga if you're planning to come up. Yesterday was gorgeous. Today looks like more of the same. So looking forward to the afternoon and looking forward to this morning's show as well. Scheduled for Horacio DePaz, and they texted me back. He's schooling a horse over in the paddock, and so he didn't think he was going to be able to make it. But I did reach out. Our friend Kim Weir was bouncing around the backstretch, so she's usually my go-to to fill in. But nice to have her in today because it's Aftercare Day, and so we'll talk a little bit about that with Kim. So it works out nicely there. Laura Simiele, who does the breakfast commentary over there. I shot some video of breakfast the other day, and I thought with 2.5 weeks left, we'd alert people to what you can go over and enjoy in the mornings, watching the horses work out, the backstretch tour. There's also the breeding farm tours as well. So that all coming up a little bit later on. But Thursday morning means a visit from the Daily Racing Forum. This week, our friend Mike Welsch. Mike, good morning.
Good morning. If you've never seen workouts in the morning, I'd say it's a good show.
Yeah.
You should come out and see it. And tomorrow would be Saturday would be a great day. Or is it tomorrow? No, I think tomorrow maybe we're going to have some of the Travelers horses, certainly tomorrow and Saturday. Fierceness and Dornock and the whole group, Sierra Leone, all scheduled to work one more time this weekend. Most of them will be on the main track here. Some Sierra Leone maybe over on the Oklahoma, not sure. But it's a big weekend for workouts here, and it'll be very, very busy. And if you've never seen that side of the sport at that time of the morning, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you can come, grab breakfast, or you can just sit up in the box seats and be like a bigwig in the back. Bring your own breakfast, bring your own donuts, sit up in the box seat, your little Laura, during the morning as well. It's always a lot of fun. And I drove up Crescent Avenue this morning, which abuts the middle of the clubhouse turn here. When I drove up, there had to literally be 30 horses. There were horses working, and then on the outside fence, there was another 15 kind of heading over to the front side.
Yeah, it was busy this morning. Thursday typically isn't a busy day, but what happened was because of the rain last week, we lost Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday, so we had about 200 horses work here on the main track last Thursday. A lot of them will push their works a little forward closer to the weekend, but a lot did come back and work today. So we were busy at both the 7 and the 8:45 breaks.
Anything notable this morning today?
Off the top of my head, Spirit Wind did work this morning. She's coming off she won the last time.
Yeah, I think so.
And she's heading for one of the grade ones on coming up. She just blew out an easy 3 for a mile for Saffie Joseph, and still working out. Not even sure all the names yet. I mean, that's the thing in the morning when it gets busy. You record the works and figure out who they were later.
And I'd sit in the press box behind you and Dave Brent. It's the people. You have to appreciate, and we always tout the workout report. You can pick it up at drf.com. Gives you great information. Some of the information not available to most people on the printed PP, so you can have a little extra insight. But man, the work that you guys put into it, because obviously the workouts are in the morning, but you're still kind of figuring things out and putting it together in the afternoon.
Yeah, the afternoon is probably a busier time trying to figure out who you clock. And sometimes there's 2 of us, sometimes there's 3 of us up there with Donald Harris and Dave and myself, figure out who had which horse, and then we have to enter it all in the computer, and that takes quite a while too to enter all the comments and everything. So it's a long day getting it done, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I know Dave enjoys it. He's not required to do it, and he loves to come out every morning. And thank goodness he was there this morning. Like I said, we were pretty busy. It would have been way too overwhelming for just me to go up there and try to clock every horse that worked this morning at those 2 times. But with Dave, we got them all.
And we always say, again, worth investing in because it gives you some good information. And, you can look and see the times on the workout, but you guys go a little in depth and horses that may be working out together. You grade the workouts, and Gary West used to say, it's not how fast they go, it's how they go fast. And you get a little more.
And a lot of times it's
into
who they
that.
work with too. And we try to, put that in there too, who they're in company with and which of the team might have won the work or look better. Sometimes they'll come to the wire together, but there's a big difference in who is better of the team. Some will be in hand, others will be shoving away for like it was a race. So we try to incorporate that to the work too.
And what's an M indicate? I mean, I get a B, a C, but some works seem to be. Yeah, okay.
And that's kind of a judgment call on our part. Sometimes it's easier to make that call than others. Like this morning with Saffie Joseph and Spirit Wind, coming off a hard race, first work back, just an easy 37-1, totally maintenance. You can see the way the rider just had her, wasn't going to let her do too much today. So that's an easy call. Sometimes not as much. It is a judgment call, and a lot of times you get turf horses working on the dirt. A lot of those are just kind of easy work, so you can grade them. You can call them maintenance. I try to tell people you kind of got to take main track works for turf horses with a little bit of grain of salt. I mean, they're turf horses for a reason. Probably tried the dirt and didn't like it, so they work them on the dirt in the morning because sometimes it's just easier for them to do. But they're not going to work the same on dirt as they will on turf.
Yeah. So again, workout report, worth it. Check out drf.com. Before we get into the upcoming stakes, I just wanted to go back and take a look at some of the action and get some opinions on the weekend. The Saratoga Special, I thought Showcase, second-time starter for Todd Pletcher, and Showcase in the Saratoga Special, now 2 for 2, and I thought he looked pretty good on the weekend.
Yeah, and if you had the workout report, you might have bet on this horse. This horse had to work 2 works back, I believe it was, where worked 5/8 of a mile and galloped out a full mile. And I think I wrote in the report the horse just galloped out forever, I think was my quote, gave it a B+. And it's the kind of race he ran here. First time this horse was on the lead, this time took back and rallied just like the workout. That work tightened him up, gave him a little more foundation, and he was able to close into a pretty good pace scenario and go on and win.
Yeah, and Todd afterwards said should stretch out nicely. That was 6.5. We'll see what's next. And I also wanted to pull up the Saratoga Derby Invitational. Carson's run gets it done for the folks at West Point. And it was clearly in the winner's circle, an emotional victory. I walked out of the paddock with Terry Finley, and named for a college classmate of Terry's. His son has medical issues, and named for him. And so it was an emotional victory with the entire partnership for West Point, but it was a nice performance for Carson's run.
It was, and a great job by Dylan Davis. And this was his first Grade 1 win in the U.S. I didn't know that. He had 2, I think, up in Canada. So it was emotional for him, too, to do it here, hometown in Saratoga, running down a pretty good horse, too, from Godolphin in the process. So he's now eligible for, I don't know what, the $5 million purse in a race in Australia. Whether they're going to go or not, I haven't talked to Christoph since then. At the time, he was, I think they're considering it. It's a lot of money. It's a long way to go. And, when horses make those kind of trips, you're going to lose a lot of time coming after they come back. So there's a lot of options to weigh there. So we'll see if this horse heads that direction.
That's about the longest trip you can make, too, from here to Australia.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the valets last night at dinner who is from Australia, and he made that trip with his family, I don't know, a year ago or so, and I think he said the flight was 24 hours or something crazy. I mean, I can barely make it from here to Florida without going stir crazy on a plane, so I can't imagine doing that. But maybe it's easy on the horses. They just sleep.
I hear you, particularly these days with the seat where you're crammed in there. Also, wanted to bring up, you mentioned Dylan Davis, and he continues to ride very well and ride the long shots. But at 25-1, he got win number 2,500 for Kathleen O'Connell. And being a Florida guy, you're familiar with her. She bounces back and forth, winters over Tampa, but races plenty.
Well, I've known her back a long time, since I first I was a Calder, and she was one of the kingpins of Calder, or queen pins, if you will. For Clockers too, she was always good to watch her works and do some betting, because she had first timers that when she got them fit and ready to go, she got the job done a lot of times. So I've known her a long time. She's a terrific gal and a great trainer. She works super hard. She makes that trip. I don't know how she does it. She makes that trip back in the winter between Gulfstream and Tampa once or twice a week. It's a 4.5 hour drive one way. So she deserves all the accolades she got. And it's good to see her. She doesn't come up here often, but it was nice to see her come up here and get the job done yesterday.
Currently the leading female trainer in all-time wins.
That won't last too much long because Linda Rice is lurking right behind her, and Linda just has too much firepower. But I think Kathleen still has 50 or 60 horses spread out between Monmouth and Gulfstream, and she still wins her share. It'll take Linda a little bit to catch her, but I think ultimately she will.
But it was a nice win yesterday coming up to Saratoga from that Monmouth Basin again at a price under Dillon. And it
knocked a lot of people out of their early pick five.
It was interesting. 2,500 with 25-1 shot. The stars were aligned or whatever there. All right, let's take a look at some of the stakes action coming up. The Rick Violet, memories of Rick Violet. As I said, we lost Rick too soon. Really perfectly matched up for Aftercare Day. He was kind of a driving force of that.
He certainly was, and this race means a lot to me because Rick and I went back a long way. I knew him when he was just kind of an exercise rider and just getting started training horses, and he was one of the biggest assets this industry's had. It was a huge loss. Yeah. The game has some things that need to be straightened out, and if Rick was still here, they'd get straightened out a little quicker, I think. But it's great to have the race in his honor. And ironically, I think the horses to beat come out of the barn of Danny Gargan, and Danny Gargan actually took over Rick's old barn. In fact, his colors are almost exactly the same. When you walk by, it's kind of eerie.
I pulled up, I'll alert the guys, I pulled up a replay, in fact, of the Gargan horse Instamatic last time, who I have in my mix. I'm going to use Russian Realm, another Gargan horse, moving to the turf for the first time, but I thought Instamatic was very playable too. But your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this horse is doing great. Now, he's won 2 in a row at 6 furlongs. Now he's stretching out. And Danny admitted to me the distance is a bit of a question mark for him. But one thing it will do, coming off these sprints, is it's going to put him in the race a little earlier. There's not a lot of speed in here. I think Danny's plan is to maybe try to get this horse, if he can, get loose on the lead and maybe relax, and that would help him get the distance a little bit better. So we'll see if that's the way the race unfolds. But these two horses, they're not an entry, but they complement each other really well. Russian Realm will be coming from behind. The question mark with him is his ability to handle the grass. Danny says he thinks he will. He liked the way he's worked on the turf. And he says, if I run that number back on today that I ran on the dirt last time, I'll win the race by 5 lengths. So probably true. If he runs an 88 in here, he probably will. The question is, will he do that? And will there be enough pace for him to run into? So he's the biggest question mark in here. Well, they're both question marks. One's the distance and one is the surface. But I think one of those two, I would have them on top too.
Yeah, and there's some nice turf breeding for Russian Realm. So I went that direction. But again, Instamatic is logical as well. Tomorrow it's the Union Avenue. $125,000. They're going to go 6 furlongs. I pulled up a replay of the Jeremiah Engelhardt horse in the win here earlier this month, August 2nd. Tricky Temper is going to be the number 3 here. I tilted in that direction, but I thought Lilu was would be very competitive. Cara's Time for Mitch Friedman, also interesting to me. What did you see in tomorrow's Union Avenue?
Well, this race was carded and postponed because of the weather last week, and as a result, Tricky Temper is now in it. She was not in the race when the race was originally drawn. Neither was Majestic Return. So a couple of new shooters. Lilo was in the race that day. She was going to be a heavy favorite then. She'll probably be a heavy favorite now. But Tricky Temper might be a major obstacle for her to overcome. But you got to respect Lilo. She's only run twice against Statebreds in her career, both in stake. She just got beat both times. She's tactically, should be tactically well placed. The outside post should put her in a great early position off whatever inside speed might develop. So I think Lilo's the one to beat, and I would, Lilo and Tricky Temper would be my top pair in here.
Yeah, if you're playing horizontals, it looks like you use those two and move on, I kind of feel like as well. Saturday, a couple nice stakes coming up on Saturday. The Lake Placid is on the grass, mile and 16 for the 3-year-old fillies. I pulled up a replay of the Boiling Springs down at Monmouth on July 13th. It'll be the number 3 Spaladay getting it done for Chad Brown. Frankie Dettori jumps on board on Saturday here. Gala Brand is a horse that really started the career with some promise up here at Saratoga. Hasn't quite lived up to it for Bill Mott, but at a big price, I could see putting that one in the mix. Cherie DeVoe has the recent maiden breaker Deep Satin in here. We have a European transplant for Christophe Clement and LaRaise. She feels pretty for Cherie DeVoe, certainly is logical. Fun race, dynamic pricing for Chad and Klarovich. What did you see in the Lake Placid?
This is a great betting race.
Yeah,
this is a wide open race. It'd be really interesting to see how this turns out. The horses you mentioned, you've got the two European horses making their U.S. debuts, Le Ray and A Beautiful Love for Charlie Appleby. 2 starts back, she was second to Cinderella's Dream, and Cinderella's Dream obviously came back and won the Belmont Oaks Invitational. So you got to respect Beautiful Love off of that. She feels pretty. Ran third, got beat less than the length as the 4-5 favorite in the Belmont Oaks Invitational. Perhaps just a little further than she wants to go. My first order of business after I leave the set here is to call Cherie to get her thoughts on the race, doing a story on the race for Saturday's Racing Form. And I'm going to guess that's going to be her assessment too, but we'll see. We'll see. But terrific effort on her part. And, you know, her stablemate coming off a big maiden win. You got to respect her. Gala Brand, now this is third start off a layoff. You got to figure that she's sitting on her best yet. She was no match for She Feels Pretty when they met in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf. But, you know, this is almost a year later now, and horses develop differently. Gala Brand, maybe those 2, starts here in the Wild Applause in the Lake George will set her up for a huge effort here. And then, of course, Chad Brown, what can you say? You can never discount him in any of these races. He's got Greyhouse, he's got Spaladay, and he's also got dynamic pricing. Also, Brendan Walsh with the undefeated Proctor Street. There was an incident over on the Oklahoma course today with a horse that got loose, and I heard it was Brendan Walsh's. I hope it wasn't Proctor Street. That's my second call this morning to make sure that isn't the case, and then to find out what his thoughts are for this lightly raced, but obviously very promising horse. It's asking a lot going into a race like this with only 2 starts under your belt. I think it's much more seasoned competition, but this horse could be a special one too for her owner breeder Patricia Mosley.
Yeah, it's a fun edition of the Lake Placid, as you say, a nice betting race. Going to be fun to see how the odds shake out and then how it all plays out. And finally, the highlight of the weekend, obviously, the Alabama. And I should say, I have scheduled our friend Mike Veach for Saturday morning. Mike Veach is a longtime OTB personality. His favorite race, the Alabama. He's got a book he's working on based on the Alabama. So we'll talk to Mike on Saturday morning, but $600,000 up for grabs for the 3-year-old fillies. And I pulled up a replay, and it gave me an opportunity also to to look at the champ in the class. I pulled up the Coaching Club American Oaks. It will be Torpedo Anna getting it done. She's elected to go next week in the Travers, but running seconds to number 1 horse Candied, who clearly will have some support on Saturday. Miss Justify for Todd Pletcher, perhaps intriguing. Intricate's a horse earlier this year for Brendan Walsh. I was very much intrigued with it. Hasn't quite gotten to what I was expecting, but I think is a player in here. What are your thoughts on the Alabama?
Well, obviously the race is a different race than it would have been with Torpedo Anna gone this direction. Probably would have been lucky to get a 4-horse field. Now you get an 8-horse field and a pretty good betting race to boot. Not a lot of speed in here. I think you're going to see obviously Chattelat from trainer Mark Ladd. He's shipping her in here. She looks like the, maybe the horse that will have to be caught. She could get loose, and if she gets loose, she could be pretty darn dangerous in here. Candy is obviously the one to beat. I mean, look, she ran a great race last time, and she ran into the champ. What are you going to do? But she was clearly second best, and will probably get a lot out of that race. It was only her second start since the Ashland back in April, and her third start since the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. So, she's definitely the one to fear in here. But her stablemate, Miss Justify, getting better with every start, coming off a huge effort in the Wilton, going to stretch out. That'll be a question for her, whether she can get that extra quarter of a mile. But Todd is sitting with a big hand there. So, and Power Squeeze, I root for the old horses from Gulfstream that come up here, and she won the Gulfstream Park Oaks and has gone on to some pretty good success too for trainer George Delgado. So interesting to see if she fits with this bunch. like I said, a way better betting affair with Torpedo and her out. So it worked out kind of doubly good for the fans.
Yeah.
You get a better betting race here, and then you get to see her
And
against the boys next
right
week.
after the win in the Coaching Club American Oaks, that's what Kenny McPeak said. He said, "Come on, it's not going to be any fun for the bettors if I go in the Alabama." And so it has worked out, and that's a real.
I'm guessing his final decision here did not put the bettors first on his list of reasons why. But it's nice to think that the trainers are thinking of the bettors, because without the bettors, none of us would be here.
Yeah,
so.
and he's been really good too, alerting the public when Torpedo N is going to come out and work. He knows the horse is kind of a fan favorite and has played into that, so that's been fun.
Although he moved up and worked a couple of days because of the weather the other day, and
it was understandable.
It was understandable, but kind of caught some of us by surprise.
Mike, always appreciate the visit. Again, we highly tout the workout reports up here. Go to drf.com for more information there. You can also check out Mike's work at drf.com and in the hard copy as well. Appreciate the visit. We'll talk again.
Okay, one more visit, and then we're out of here.
You got it.
One for me and one for Dave.
Hard to believe it's going that fast, but it always does.
It really is.
All right, we'll take a break. Back with more Racing Across America right after this. Stay tuned. Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops, my bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Welcome back to Racing Across America. As noted earlier, I was touting Horacio De Paz as a guest, and then he texted me and said, "Man, we got one schooling over in the paddock. I think I'm going to have to take a rain check." And so, that happens at the racetrack. But as has happened before at the racetrack, I know our friend Kim Weir will be bouncing around somewhere, and I reached out to her, and it works out very well because, of course, Kim talks with us often about aftercare, and it's aftercare day at the racetrack. So perfect timing. Kim, good morning.
Well, good morning, Seth. I am very glad to be here, and I am delighted to be a backup plan. But I'm filling big shoes, so I'll do my best. Talking about aftercare, I am always ready.
We had you in earlier talking about your organization, Therapeutic Courses of Saratoga, and they will be a participant today. Explain a little bit, if people come up to the racetrack today, what they'll find on Aftercare Day.
Yeah, this is an awesome day. It's a beautiful day here in Saratoga, but Aftercare Day is a celebration of these amazing equine athletes when their careers are over. And we are so grateful to NYRA for creating this day. They are collaborating with Take the Lead and NYRA to really showcase aftercare so that all the fans throughout the day will have an opportunity to really see and learn what these amazing animals can do when their racing career is over. It'll start before the races with a demonstration on the track. I think New Vocations, which is an amazing retraining and rehoming organization, will actually have horses on the track doing demonstrations of dressage and maybe some jumping. We'll find out. The first race of the day it kicks off a series of named races. Every single race today will be named for a Thoroughbred Aftercare charity. And so our team will be here for the third race. The first race is called the Down Broadway. It'll be named for the Down Broadway horse. He was the first horse taken off the track by the Take the Lead program. And that is an amazing program that brings horses into their second careers regularly. So every day, every race, I had dinner actually with Frank Miramati and Jennifer last night. And I said, Frank, you're going to be talking about aftercare all day long, because every race he'll be reading a little explanation of what each of the charities do. And it's just a great day. And I will also say, for folks visiting, to stop by the community booth today, because that's where all day long there will be information about all the charities and about Take the Lead. And it's a really fun day of awareness and fun for the horses.
The community booth, again, out by the Jock Silks room. If you're not familiar, you can ask somebody who works at the track. The Jocks room is on one side, the Silks room is on the other. It's the building kind of right in the middle of things. Out and back. But again, you can ask. There's a booth there, which is manned most days with some kind of community organization, but today it'll be the aftercare. Are you guys kind of cycling in throughout the day, all the various organizations?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of us, and so Take the Lead, and we'll be there all day long. And each of us individual charities will do sort of our little stint at the booth and have information. Our information will be there all day long. And then it's really each of us appearing at the winner's circle after the owners and connections get their picture in the winner's circle. Each of us get to have our picture in the winner's circle. A thing that I did not mention is that first race, when it is the Down Broadway race, they will be announcing the winner of the Down Broadway Award, which is a horse that has been nominated by one of our charities. We each put up a horse, and there's been a voting contest going on all over the meet so far. And then one lucky horse will be the winner. And at some point during the day, that horse, as I understand it, is going to reappear and have his moment back in the winner's circle. So it's kind of fun. It'll be very fun. All day will be very fun. And it is all celebrating the equine athletes that make this whole thing happen.
And the award named for Down Broadway, the racehorse, and I had Rick Schosberg, and I think it was a Rick horse.
Yes, I think it was. Yep.
And so it should be a fun day. And again, the retired racehorse of the year, that should be fun also. And it's a topic that has become important and moved to the forefront in the thoroughbred industry the last 10, maybe more importantly, the last 5 years or so. I had John Wager in here yesterday, who directed the movie, Off Track Fate of a Racehorse, which covers a lot of the aftercare work that's being done, and you can attest to it in the positions you've been in the last few years. The movie, I have had people like you, and I said to John, I've had people like you in, Val Buck, Michael Blowen, and we've talked a lot about it, but the movie brings it right there, and you see the horse-to-human connection that a lot of these organizations do, and certainly that happens at Therapeutic Courses of Saratoga.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you were able to attend the movie, and it seems like it was very well received. We now are excited to have that word about how much these horses do for us. We think we're talking about what do we do for them, but they give so much more back to us. All of us who care for them know that. And I think that movie sounds like it really captured that experience, that they are vessels of goodness, and we just need to get them out into the world where they can do that good work.
And there's no question about it. We talked with Johnny's going on the festival circuit, and that'll be available. But you can offtrackfilm.com, I think is the website. You can catch the trailer. But it was fun to kind of, as I say, see the things we've talked about in action, and I applauded the folks who kind of let the cameras show their interaction with the horses, because there was certainly some moving stories there. But you guys, as I say, know it from personally doing it. You know, you were involved with the Wallkill Correctional Facility previously, and through the TRF, and now Therapeutic Horses of Saratoga. And as I say, Val Buck just up the road doing nice work too. But all represented right here today with Aftercare Day, and it should be a lot of fun. Your organization is
We are race number 3, Therapeutic Horses of Saratoga. We also have a picnic table. Our whole crew from the farms coming out after work at the farm today at 4 o'clock. Our picnic table is right by the horse path by the jocks room. So come by and say hello. We'll all be there enjoying the day as well as the horses. But the third race is for Therapeutic Horses of Saratoga, and we're excited to be a part of it and really grateful for everything that Take the Lead does to shine a spotlight on aftercare.
Before we let you go, I know you brought in your pickleball tournament. That's not a tournament.
It is actually a tournament.
It
is a tournament.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know a lot about pickleball, but yes, I am always equipped with my shameless plug. We're calling it Pickle for the Ponies, and it is on Monday, the 26th of August. So that's the Monday after Traverse. We will all have a day of rest after all the Traverse excitement. Right here in Ballston Spa at the Legacy Pickleball Club. The great folks who own that facility have given us the facility. We have recruited an amazing array of athletes of the human variety. Rick Schosberg, our very own from Take the Lead, is absolutely playing, as is Ramon Dominguez and Angel Cordero and Dale Romans and Tammy Fox. So for all of us who are not playing, we just get to hang out and watch them play pickleball. We also have food and drink, and our horses are coming to the party. So it's from 3 to 6 on August 26th. So I'm counting on you being there, but I'm not counting on you playing, and I'm not playing either. Actually, someone you know very well, who I think is about to sit in the seat, Miss Laura Simiele, is also playing. So it's celebrities on pickleball courts, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So please join us, and you can learn about it at our website, thsaratoga.org.
It's right down the road from where I am, so I got to show.
No excuse.
And exactly, no excuses. And I think I'd be willing to play. I've never played. I don't know the rules.
I know. Next year, I'm already going to say you're on the list for next year. You get one pass.
No, if I'm watching, I'll pick up the rules.
That's right. Laura's going to teach you, because she's going to become excellent. What I understand about her, she may not know much about pickleball, but she's got the outfit. That's really all I'm looking for.
And that's like 80% of it.
I think it is. It is.
Kim, appreciate the visit. Again, appreciate the fill-in. I know you're always bouncing around, so immediately when I found out, I sent text, you're around, come in. But it worked out great, because, again, it ties in perfectly with Aftercare Day. So we'll be looking for you guys in the Winner's Circle Race 3. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing who the retired racehorse is. That'll be announced after the first race in the Winner's Circle. Yeah. So it should be a fun afternoon. And again, check out the community booth as well and get more info on some of these organizations who do great work with the retired racehorses. Kim, appreciate it.
Thank you, Seth. Glad to be here.
All right. We'll take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk breakfast with Laura and more right after this. Stay tuned.
Why just watch the races when you can be in the middle of the action? For nearly 20 years, Bonaventure Stables' share-based ownership program has made thoroughbred ownership affordable for the everyday fan. Ownerships of 5 and 10% are now available on a nice selection of horses. As a partial owner with Bonaventure Stables, you'll enjoy all the benefits afforded every owner. Visit with your horse in the private stable area. Greet the trainers and jockeys in the paddock. And when your horse wins, savor the moment in the Winner's Circle at Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, or wherever you bring home the prize. Based in historic Saratoga Springs, Bonaventure Stables has been training winners and creating memories since 2005. Learn more, see available horses, and meet our team at bonaventurestables.com.
Welcome back to Racing Across America. As promised before the break, joined now by Laura Simiele. You can catch her doing the commentary over on breakfast days on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Breakfast is available Wednesday and Thursday as well. Breakfast kicks off at 7, goes to 9:30. The tram tour to the backstretch, the breeding and farm tours will hit on all of that. A lot of fun, but I thought with about 2.5 weeks left, we'll promo the breakfast a little bit and try to get some people over there. Laura, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Seth. Thank you so much for having me join you today. So I grew up as a student of Mary Ryan, who used to commentate breakfast years ago as I was a child. And there's no greater honor than being able to carry on just a small part of her legacy and share with fans of all ages and from all over everything that our equine athletes have to offer. So very special mornings. We try to get the kids involved in the morning and families, and I have some special co-hosts that join me sometimes.
I popped over the other day to get some video, and the guys can run that. Got the buffet line, got some of the atmosphere, got some of the people, got some of the kids, got you and the co-hosts. So just talk a little bit about it. Again, you're there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings. Give folks a little bit of an overview on Breakfast at Saratoga.
So Breakfast at Saratoga is this wonderful opportunity to enjoy our athletes in the morning as they're training for future contests, as they're going through their different routines, and learn a little bit about how the equines like us are all very different, and everyone has their own program that their trainers communicate to their exercise riders. We talk about the flow of traffic on the track. We talk about a wonderful tool called the Saddle Towel Guide that a group called Thoroughfan puts together that Bob Giordano works on diligently year after year, that identifies the trainers' saddle towels that you're seeing on the track rather than the jockey silks that are there in the afternoon. We answer questions. We encourage those young fans to get up there and wave good morning and see our exercise riders and really enjoy it. We also have the great ability with the breakfast downstairs. You'll see Alana, my co-host here, young lady. She's gearing up to take this position from me in about 10 or 12 years, and that's okay. But we have these breakfast and breeding tours as well that NYRA has expanded on year after year since their inception. So Wednesdays and Thursdays heading out to Song Hill Thoroughbreds, which is owned and operated by Jim and Tina Bond. Fridays out to Old Tavern Farm. Michelle and Walt Barisnock do a wonderful job out there. And Saturdays, and I believe at least one Sunday still remaining, to head out to Sugar Plum Farm, owned and operated by the Malatinos. So featuring that life cycle of our athletes, and even more fitting that I'm here on Aftercare Day as we tout that life cycle from foal to finish line and beyond for these incredible horses that give so much to us.
I had Jim and Tina Bond on right at the end of the year last year, and they were thrilled with the breeding farm tour. They were surprised and thrilled with that. That's turned out to be very popular. That ties into breakfast. You come and get breakfast, and then you take the tour to a local breeding farm. And I think for a lot of people, that is a fun way to spend the morning and seeing an aspect of the game that they may have read about and know a little bit about, but only cursory, and sort of go visit the farms is a lot of fun and has turned out to be very, very popular.
Well, and they get to see that whole before the scenes. You know, when you watch a horse come to the racetrack at 2 years old, for the breeders, there's 3 years of their lives that they've invested from the time they've planned the conception of that foal till the 2-year-old marker for them to hit the racetrack. So it's so exciting to see that behind the scenes of it all. And we found with a new program that NYRA launched this year that I am super biased about, is I'm the knowledgeable guide, as I lovingly say, STAR, Students of Thoroughbreds and Racing. So NYRA initiating this program to have children get signed up by their parents. So head to NYRA.com/star. Also head to NYRA.com for additional breeding and breakfast tour information and everything that we're talking about here. But this kids program, giving these children the opportunity to get their questions answered, have experiences like go into the paddock, go into the winner's circle here, which I've been so fortunate. I grew up in this business as a breeder, as an owner. I used to give backstretch tours here 23 years ago and work for the New York Thoroughbred breeders seasonally when I was a teenager. So to watch children of all ages, because I'm counting their parents and grandparents as well, light up when they have the goosebumps hit of walking into the paddock at Saratoga, going into the winner's circle, which is something that so many of us, whether you've experienced it one time or 100 times, a winner's circle moment here it's breathtaking and it means so much. So for these youngsters to be involved and so excited, folks like Kim Weir have joined me. Rick Schosberg joins me on occasion. Mrs. Malloy, who just celebrated her birthday yesterday, of Edition Farm. Shout out to Vivian there. And she's come, she's been an owner and breeder for 40 years. And Doc Messina, Dr. Pedigree, as he's known, these kids are getting the knowledge that's here. And everyone is so excited to meet them. So we actually had a young lady come in with a shirt she made with Forte on it. And her mom told me that she's allowed to use the computer for her homework and her DRF account to track the horses that she wants to follow. Well, that young lady's moments of the day were made when her favorite trainer, Todd Fletcher, had a horse in the race that her favorite jockey happened to be riding. They happened to win. She thought she was just going to wave and congratulate Todd, and he stopped and talked to her and took a photo. And we're just so thankful that everyone, our jockeys, our gate crew, Nick Santagata, who rode when I was growing up, who's now a valet or valet, depending on how you pronounce that, stops and they talk to these kids, and the questions are just so wonderful, and they're having the time of their lives.
And that's the Star. It's brand new, right?
It's brand new. Yeah. It started this year. The first day was the 27th. There are over 600 children now registered, which is so exciting. Parents, let them have the experience of a lifetime. It's just so beautiful. And I can't thank everyone enough for letting me share in their moments, because it's like watching a kid go to Disney for the first time. It's amazing.
Yeah,
so between our breakfast program, these breakfast and breeding tours, the ability for our next generation of fans to be involved, we're forming this full cycle of our humans getting involved in the game. And again, that full cycle for our equine athletes, fitting on Aftercare Day as well. I myself have a retired racehorse who's a princess that I love very much, but our athletes have so much potential for second and third and fourth careers that a day like today really showcases all of what our thoroughbreds can do.
Yeah, no question about it. And it's a great idea to have a day like this, and to have the Rick Violet Stakes is perfectly appropriate. Again, the STARS stands for Students of Thoroughbreds and Racing. Clever there. You get a membership card and a lanyard, a paddock tour, winner's circle experience, keepsake collectibles.
Pins.
Yeah, the jockey pins were kind of cool. I saw them on the website. So again, you can go to NYRA to find out more about if you have some kids. And it's a great idea to get folks more involved in the game younger, and then they become longtime fans. And the winner's circle thing, Wayne Lucas was always known for, and he did it the other day.
Yes, we had a group. We actually had a group. So Cold as Hell won, and Mr. Lucas said, stay in here. And I'm going to be very honest with you all. I'm 36 years old, and that was a highlight of my life. And you're never too old or young to experience moments like that. So Mr. Lucas, if you're watching, thank you.
It's been a long time thing, though, where he would be walking into the winner's circle, this horse won, and pick out an 8-year-old or somebody to come in the winner's circle with them. But now through the STAR program, more folks get to do that. Another thing we haven't talked about, but we saw on the video, the tram tours. Yes. And again, that's another side of the game that most people don't get a chance to see, the backstretch. And so the tram tours go, I think, every 15 minutes. Hop on, brings you back here. We showed a little bit of them looking at one of the horses, but they'll also go and look at the starting gate as horses work in the morning. So that's a fun part of the breakfast as well.
Those tram tours, it's about a 45-minute walking tour once you're on the backstretch. You actually get to go through through the areas back here, see some of the barns, interact with a pony, go to gate school, learn about all of the on-track items that it takes to have these athletes be prepared for a race day. There's also a front side walking tour as well that runs from 9 a.m. to 3:30 daily. And that's fun too if I want a little bit more of a historical perspective. I kind of tout it as if you want to know why that bell's ringing at 17 minutes to post or what the deal is with the canoe. That's kind of the tour for you. And again, that's 30 minutes during the day. So you can even kind of tuck it in between races if you find a spot there during your day at the track. So between our breakfast and breeding, the enjoyment of the training in the morning, the tram tour that is, again, walking once you're back here, but takes you on that real excursion through a day in the life. And also you get to witness the men and women that so diligently care for our horses back here. The amount of people that it takes to put on a production, on a scale here, if you can imagine the scale out there, it's absolutely incredible. So all of those are phenomenal opportunities.
And again, it's the breakfast is a lot of fun, highly recommended. You're right, I hadn't even thought about that because I am so jaded. I've been here so long. But people, I'm sure, are like, what's with the bell?
What's with the bell? What's with the bell?
And the guy bringing the bell with the earplugs
right?
in, and the canoe. That's a great idea to explain that a little more as well. But breakfast is a lot of fun. You saw the buffet, nice food.
Yes.
But also, I was showing people up in the boxes. You don't have to take part in the buffet. You can go bring your donuts and sit up in one of the boxes.
Join us anywhere. I say do both. Like take a day that you're actually going to come down and have breakfast down on the porch. Enjoy that, eye level, feel the hooves, have the dirt right there. Come on up and say hello. I'm usually up in box C27, but I do walk through the porch area in the morning. I love to answer any questions. If I don't know the answer, rest assured I will find out for you. But it's really a great way to just take in a different side of this wonderful sport that we love so much. So yeah, whether you're on the porch, hop upstairs, say hello.
I don't know whether you heard Mike saw you out there, Mike Welsch, when I had him in, and I was talking about when you came up, we were going to talk breakfast, and Mike said, if you haven't done it, you should come watch. I mean, Mike's the workout guy. He said, come watch the workouts. And he said tomorrow and into Saturday, you'll see some traverse workers.
Yes, you'll most likely see those. So you usually see we have what's called the break, the maintenance break on the track. You'll often hear me refer to that different kind of horsepower as the tractors are harrowing. But usually right after that break, we see a really decent amount of those breezes or those timed workouts. And it's a lot of fun. We our trainers and different parties will sometimes come up and tell us exactly who's out there. And we like to give our shout outs where we can. And you'll get to see jockeys breezing some horses some days. We always like to give a shout out to our outriders and everyone on the grounds that make sure that this is well kept and safe and fun for everyone. So should see some of those Travers contenders and get ready.
And you mentioned, and I will re-mention because it's our friend Bob Giordano who's done a great job with the saddle towel booklet over the years, and it's free. There's a stand out by the host stand. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of them available, so you can pick them up, and it shows the saddle towel, which then relates to the trainer whose horses they are, so you can kind of keep up with that in the morning as well. But Bob always does a great job with the saddle towel booklet. And you mentioned, we saw a little shot of you with essentially the other day, your co-host, Alana. And you said she's going to fill in for you. I can vouch because I was standing there during the interaction. She, there was no fear there. She's going to step in ably. Ready.
Her and her sister, Nina, they come up every weekend. And they have a blast. And this past weekend, Alana said, I would like to take the microphone. And I said, absolutely. Come and join me. I've met some wonderful young fans, a young lady named Carol Jean, who's 4 years old, who actually introduced herself to me as the next Jenna Antonucci at age 4. And rest assured, that message went directly to Jenna and her team. And they, fully support this young lady and all of her endeavors. That young lady left with a signed Jenna postcard, and it's so wonderful, and it's, again, kids of all ages. We have parents, grandparents come up, they've attended, or sometimes it's their first time, and Saratoga is so special. It's a bucket list location for so many people, so to be able to enjoy and share in just a little fragment of those memories being made for them is truly just an honor.
Yeah, and again, with 2.5 weeks left, I wanted to get some breakfast in.
Yes.
I've been meaning to get over there and film something, and finally got over last weekend. I think it was their Sunday morning,
Yes.
maybe, and bounced around for a while and put together that video you saw earlier, because it's worth coming up. And if you haven't done it, it's worth it to be here in the morning. A morning like this is just
Oh, it's perfect.
The sun is hitting and the horses out there, and you saw people on the fence with horses, feet away.
Yep.
You saw a bunch of kids. Kids are having a great time as well. So highly recommended to come up for breakfast. And again, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can hear Laura, but also Wednesday and Thursdays are available. Tram tours are available every day. The breeding farm tour is available every day
Breeding
too, right?
farm tour is available Wednesday through Saturday, and I think there's that one Sunday left. So
Okay.
you do have to hop online and reserve that in advance on NYRA.com. They are limited because it's that, I think it's limited to 52, so however many fit on the trolley to head out. But Wednesday and Thursdays, again, headed out to Jim and Tina's farm, Song Hill Thoroughbreds. Fridays, Old Tavern Farm, and Saturdays, and I believe that one remaining Sunday, headed out to Sugar Plum Farm. Wide variety of just different wonderful experiences at each farm, and 3 programs and 3 families that are ingrained in breeding and racing in New York, are just so wonderful and do so much for the sport on every level. Whether it's having a stallion like Robin Malatino does with War Dancer, or the work that Michelle and Walt do with our chaplaincy, Tina, obviously our NYRA president as well, and just generations of investment into our industry and our sport. So again, that before the behind the scenes that you get to see in the morning here, the behind the scenes here, and full circle when you join us for racing in the afternoon, and the STAR program, an opportunity to kind of get those enhanced experiences and places that really only the horsemen and the owners get to go.
Great to have you in to talk a little bit
Thank
about
you.
this, because I think, again, breakfast is worth doing. There's more than a couple of weeks left. The STAR program for the kids, the breeding farm tours, all worth talking a little bit about and getting people maybe involved in and juiced up to give a shot to. You can go to NYRA.com for more information on all of this. Laura, we appreciate the visit this morning. Keep up the good work.
Seth, thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
All right,
See you
we'll
soon.
take one more break. When we come back, shot some video in the winner's circle on Sunday after the 4-star day, after the Saratoga Derby. Got the Saratoga Derby with West Point was very emotional. Just some fun interviews coming up. So we'll take a break. I'll introduce those before we wrap it up on this Thursday morning. So stay tuned.
Turn your love of racing into savings with equine discounts through the NTRA. Purchase through equine discounts and receive great savings on well-known brands like John Deere, Sherwin-Williams, Big Ass Fans, Farmers Insurance, and Office Depot. Join thousands of other equine members and support companies that give back to the sport we all love. Call 866-678-4289 or visit equinediscounts.com to start saving today.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
What if there was a way to become a better horse player, to have a better knowledge of the game, to be more successful? What if there were a way to take what you've learned, what you know, and make better decisions, better choices? In horse racing, knowledge is a powerful tool. Race results and replays, past performances and live streaming, wagering from all your digital devices. Capital OTB. Become a better horse player.
Welcome back to Racing Across America. Yeah, I went down to the winner's circle on Sunday. Saratoga Derby, 4-star day. We've got some nice interviews there, so we'll take a look at that. I had Terry Finley on Friday, and we kind of previewed a number of horses, including Carson's run in the Saratoga Derby. And he mentioned it was a special horse to him. It was named in honor of the son of a college classmate of his, and the young man had some medical issues, and so it was a special horse for Terry, certainly. So Carson's Run got it done. And I was walking out of the paddock with Terry, and he got a text from the father of Cody Dortmund, who has become friends with the classmate of Terry's. And Terry got emotional then. And then I watched, and you get a little video of that. I watched on the big screen the bottom floor of the clubhouse. I watched the race with the West Point people, Terry and Tommy Bellhouse, and they went nuts. And I thought I had the whole video, and somehow I didn't get it. I got just the end, which still you can see them going nuts. But the eruption as it crossed the finish line, I was sad. I don't know. There was a camera mount. I don't know what it was, but it was crazy. But you still get a little feel for what it was like there watching the race. Got a few seconds of that. But then we're walking out to the winner's circle, and I just happened to be walking next to Terry Finley. We got out there, and there was a rainbow over the backstretch, and they mentioned their partner also, Stephen Boucher, financial planner that you hear on the radio locally and whatnot. But he's been a partner with them for a while. He's had some issues, health issues himself, and his wife had passed away fairly recently. So for him, it was very emotional. So it was just a special victory for them, and caught a little, caught some comments from Tommy Bellhouse from West Point, Dylan Davis, his first Grade 1 in America, and got some Terry Finley as well after the win in the Saratoga Derby Invitational for Carson's Run. Here it is.
And it's still Isidoro. Here's Legend of Time cut loose to take the lead. Outside of him, Carson's Run is within a length and a half, and Royal Majesty comes through on the fence. It's Legend of Time, Royal Majesty, Carson's Run on the outside with big strides to the lead, and Carson's Run has won the Saratoga Derby Invitational under a perfect ride from Dylan Davis. He moved at the right time on the backstretch, and he beats Legend of Time, Royal Majesty, and Deterministic.
It was just a horse that we loved, and he's taken us on an amazing ride. You win a maiden race up here, we lose with anticipation by Zop. The Clements are brilliant and wheel him back in a very short period of time for the summer. Our favorite race, you and mine. But he wins, and then we have extra time to go into the Breeders' Cup. Didn't work out that day. His first race back was a little funny. He kind of looked like he blew the turn, and we backed off a little. We kind of a couple extra weeks and just said, okay, let's try Monmouth and see if we can get him all figured out again. He ran great, and that race gave Christoph the confidence to say, hey, let's take a swing here. And he's training great. He actually worked with one of our fillies, Parnack, who was second in the Glens Falls. And I got to tell you, he's a two-time Grade 1 winner. And he didn't cost a lot of money. We talked earlier, we bought him at the 2-year-old sales. And, it's overwhelming. It's a great partnership. Steve Boucher, one of our favorite people to partner up with. And it's just a phenomenal group of West Point partners. We waited a while to get here last week and then yesterday, but today, and I don't know, Seth. This is a very fulfilling win for the West Point team.
Once I got outside, I was rooting for us. Come on, Carson, let's get going. And he responded very nicely, and it meant a lot. First Grade 1 in New York, in the States, and hometown Saratoga is incredible. So just doing the best out there, and it's an incredible moment.
The half-mile pole, we tucked him inside, and I said, obviously he was going to, at that point, he was going to have to work out a trip. And I just said, let's see if we can do it. and everything, he kind of bulled his way out at the top of the stretch. And I said, now if he's good enough, obviously the big favorite was a tough hombre. He's a really cool horse. He's not a real big horse, but I saw his races, and I knew the last part of his races, he drops down and he goes on with it. But when they turn for home and he changed leads, he just exploded. And I was talking to Dylan. All he kept saying to this horse was, "Let's go, let's go, let's go."
And Carson's Run has won the Saratoga Derby Invitational under a perfect ride from Dylan Davis. He moved at the right time on the backstretch, and he beats Legend of Time, Royal Majesty, and Deterministic.
So it was fun. It was a fun story, having been named after the college classmate and getting the victory. And as Tommy Bellhouse said, a couple of grade ones for the horse. So it's been a fun partnership story as well. They did very well with Carson's Run and will continue to do so, you would assume. So again, up here at the racetrack, particularly at Saratoga, there are races that are fun. There are races that are fun to bet. It's fun to win. It's fun to win money, but there are also some fun stories and just some people that it's always fun to follow and root for as well. And as they say, you got a little snippet of what it was like on the bottom floor of the clubhouse after the race, where the West Point people were understandably very, very happy. Also on Sunday, the rescheduled Saratoga, the rescheduled 4-Star Dave, first win in the 4-Star Dave for trainer Chad Brown. Bob Edwards, E5 Racing, the winner. So caught up with Bob, got some of his thoughts, but also got some of his thoughts on the name, Carl Spackler, which we can all appreciate, and some quick fun thoughts from Chad Brown as well after the win in the 4-Star Dave. Again, his first win in the 4-Star Dave with Carl Spackler.
Spackler on the outside as they reach the top of the stretch. Strong quality. Carl Spackler breezes on by. Ottoman Fleet with plenty of work to do, and More Than Looks is revving up in the center, but Carl Spackler has opened up. What a tremendous athlete Carl Spackler is as he dominates the FanDuel 4-Star Dave. Wins it by more than 4 lengths.
He looked like $1 million today. And he ran like it.
You guys are spotting the Breeders' Cup, something you're looking forward to.
I love going to Breeders' Cup. You know my stats; they're pretty good there.
There's only a couple of sure bets here. That was a kid growing up here. Bill Mott's birthday and 4-Star Dave winning at the meet, So to win this race is really special to have everybody here. And I haven't won it because it's a hard race to win. So that makes it even more special. It's a very challenging race to win.
Carl Spackler, it's a Caddyshack reference for sure. We've always wanted to use, a Caddyshack reference. I don't really have turf colts often. So we had the opportunity, we took it, and this is what we got.
Turf horse, Carl Spackler. Why not? Caddyshack reference. Gotta love that. Again, congratulations to everybody on the weekend with the victories and nice performances and whatnot. And we head into another great weekend this weekend. We'll be talking about it more tomorrow. And obviously on Saturday, I said on Saturday, our friend Mike Welsch scheduled to come in. Again, longtime OTV TV personality. And over the years, we all got to know that the Alabama, Mike's favorite race. He's working on a book about the Alabama. We'll talk about that more with Mike coming up on Saturday. But we have a Friday show scheduled before. And as I say, we'll talk plenty about the weekend leading into it as well. One of the highlight weekends of the meet, obviously, with the Alabama coming up. So looks like a fun day today. Again, if you want to come up, we would love to have you. And let me see if I can quickly pull up our August calendar of promotions to, again, alert you that today it is the Play the Board contest at the Clubhouse Racebook. Go down and enjoy the racing action. Maybe grab a little lunch at Black Bear, but have some fun also with the Play the Board contest today at the Clubhouse Racebook. Tomorrow it's a knockout challenge at the Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. So again, a little extra fun on Friday as well. Friday also Fan Appreciation Day at both the Boulevard Bowl and the Queensbury branch. Both of them will have a Fan Appreciation Day tomorrow, Friday afternoon. And again, that gives us our chance to say thank you to you. So swing by, food, PPs, a contest at the locations. Have some fun. Fan Appreciation Day tomorrow, Friday, Boulevard Bowl in Queensbury. Saturday, Clubhouse Racebook King of the Hill contest. Stop on by and enjoy that on Saturday. Bounty Bet returns on Saturday as well. It is the late pick 5, the final pick 5 on Saturday. Play it with your Capital OTB bet account, and you're in for a shot at the bounty. Sunday, it's the pick 3 bankroll. We'll again try to knock it out of the park with the pick 3 bankroll on Sunday. Entries will open up tomorrow at noon. Team will be randomly selected on Sunday. The entries close at about noontime on Sunday, and then we'll select the team. But again, we'll play the pick 3 bankroll on Sunday afternoon. All right, going to wrap it up for this edition of Racing Across America. Again, great day today. Come on up or swing by the race book at your local branch or play on the computer, because it should be a fun day of racing with some races in here this afternoon that I think will offer a little bit of intrigue. We'll see how it plays out, and we'll talk about it tomorrow morning when we're back in here, 9 a.m. handicapper support at 10 a.m. Racing Across America. We'll see you then.
You've been watching Racing Across America. Racing Across America has been brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. When you can't make it to the track, make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.
Also brought to you by Wizard Race and Sports.